Hey everyone, it's Lissette here and welcome to my channel. For this video, we are going to be doing a cozy sweater themed nail design. I've been seeing this all over. They've already started with their cozy sweater themed nail designs all over the internet. So of course I have to do my own. So as you can see, this red iguana practice hand I took out. These are the tips that I use to insert into the cuticle section. I got a couple questions on how I prep the hands, and I don't do anything. I take these tips and I shove them right up in that cuticle section, and that is it. She does have these on her website at rediguana.com, so you can go ahead purchase that as you're already ordering the hands. But as you can see, I'm just going to go ahead start off using my 180 sanding band, using this at 5,000 RPM, and I'm going to remove the shine off of these nail plates, and this is just going to help adhere the gel to the nail plate and you won't get any lifting. For these nails, I'm going to go ahead and use these extra long coffin nail tips. Once again, I do have these on my website, but I've already pre-measured these. I'm going to go in and use my rubber base gel and start gluing these down. I just glue them on really quick for at least 5 seconds each. When I have all of the nails on, I do go ahead back inside the light and cure them for an additional 60 seconds.
Until forever, walk step by step, but I'm on a different pace. You won't see me on the ground, cause I'm walking on the waves. I don't ever look down, 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 I'm just focused on his face. I don't gotta know it all, that's a different type of faith.
From there, I'm coming back in with my 180 sanding band. I'm still using this at 5,000 RPM, and I'm just going over the surface of the tips. I'm going to blend that tip in to the natural nail plate, and then I'm going to go all over the surface of the tip itself to remove that shine. This is just going to better adhere the gel to the tips so they won't separate.
You superseded. I'm complete cause you preceded me.
At this point, I would go in with my dehydrated to dehydrate the nail plates, and then I would go in with my rubber base gel and then cure it. But we're going to skip all of those steps because this is a practice hand. Now, it was extremely cold in my house the day I did these nails, so I did end up taking out my coaster warmer. I do have this linked on my Amazon storefront, and for me, this helps me when my gel is extremely stiff because of the temperature in my house. If I warm it up, it will definitely loosen it up, and this is me just showing you right here how loose and soft and flowy it is. I personally like to work with looser gels. I know for a fact this winter this coaster is going to be my best friend, but as you can see, I'm just comparing it to a gel that I have not warmed up yet, and it is extremely stiff. As you can see, I can even flip it over and the gel will take a sweet time to move, versus the one that I've already heated up and warmed up, and as you can see is extremely loose. So if you do have trouble with your gel being too stiff, I highly suggest and recommend getting a coaster warmer for your gels, because it'll just end up making your whole life a lot better. So starting off with the design itself, I'm gonna use my milky white hard builder gel. I'm going to start off with the pinky and just do a full covered nail of this. As you can see, I start off with a thin layer first. I go back, I add a little more, I flash cure it for at least 15 seconds, and then I go back in with a large amount, and this is where I start floating it around that cuticle section and then dragging it down. Doing the hard gel in layers helps me out a lot. I also take my time. This video is sped up, but doing it slower, in my opinion, it just helps me out using a little bit of gel at a time instead of trying to use a large glob and try to like float it and like sculpt the hard gel to your nail. I just think it's a little more challenging when you try to do it that way. But as you can see, I just add my little layers. I cure in between for 15 seconds and then I move on to the next nail. And I'm going to use that same milky white color on the middle nail as well as the pointer nail.
I don't gotta know it all. That's a different type of faith. Hold up, I know you gon' show up every time. When I'm good, when I'm bad, when I'm low, when I'm high, yeah. When I'm lost, look to God, He my guide, yeah. Haters talk, let them talk, no reply, yeah. Wait, I find strength inside my weakness. My strength, yeah. Expectations, you exceed them. Do my best, you supersede it. I'm complete cause you preceded me. Da, 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 yeah, you know it. Da, 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 yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Da, 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 yeah, you know it. I don't got it all planned out, but you know. I just watch it all pan out cause I know that you know. Covered in this life until forever. I don't got it all planned out, but you know. I just watch it all pan out cause I know that you know. Covered in this life until forever.
For the ring nail, I'm going to go in and use my Simply Pink Hard Builder Gel, and I'm going to do once again a full covered nail for this one as well. Once I finish applying the Builder Gel to this nail, I do go ahead and put my hands back inside the light and do a full cure for 60 seconds just to make sure all of the nails are fully cured.
Like they nothing, 'cause I know they something. I just need you to know why. I refuse to let the light fade away. Even through the darkest day, I got to see the light. And the one I follow, yeah, he makes it easy. I know I don't got it all. I ain't got it figured out, but with every fall, he told me I'll make it out just the way he planned it out. All I gotta do is trust in him and know that he will work it out, work it out. Ah, da, 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 yeah, you know it. Ah, da, 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 yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Ah, da, 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 yeah, you know it. I don't got it all.
Going in with my nail cleanser, I'm going to remove the sticky layer from the nails after curing, and then I'm going to go in with my 100 grit nail file. I'm going to start sharpening those sidewalls and that free edge straight. I kind of feel like when it comes to shaping, it could kind of make or break the nails regardless of the design. So for me, I try my best to get the sidewalls as straight as possible. And I'm not going over the surface of the nails. Like I said, I'm just focusing on the sidewalls and that free edge when it comes to this part.
Hold up, I know you gon' show up every time. When I'm good, when I'm bad, when I'm low, when I'm high, yeah. When I'm lost, look to God, He my guide, yeah. Haters talk, let them talk, no reply, yeah. Wait, I find strength inside my weakness. My strength, yeah. Expectations, you exceed them. Do my best, you supersede it. I'm complete cause you preceded me. Da, 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 yeah, you know it. Da, 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 yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Da, da.
From there, I'm going in with my fine taper drill bit. I'm going around that cuticle section, making sure it is smooth, and then I'm going to go down the body of the nail. I'm using this at 20,000 RPM, and I'm also using the Melody Susie Sparkle Plus. This is their new drill. I am going to link that in the description for you guys as well. Everything that I've used in this video, I'm going to link it for you guys along with my Amazon storefront. I have a lot of things that I use there, just so it's easy access for you guys if you want to purchase it as well. But yeah, so once again, I'm just using this fine taper drill bit at 20,000 RPM, and I'm just going to shape the surface of the nails and around that cuticle section as well.
Like they nothing, 'cause I know they something. I just need you to know why. I refuse to let the light fade away. Even through the darkest day, I got to see the light. And the one I follow, yeah, he makes it easy. I know I don't got it all, I ain't got it figured out, but with every fall, he told me I'll make it out just the way he planned it out. All I gotta do is trust in him and know that he will work it out, work it out. Ah, da, 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 yeah, you know it. Ah, da, 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 yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Ah, da, 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 yeah, you know it. I don't got it all planned out, but you know, I just watch it all pan out, 'cause I know that you know, covered in this life until forever.
From there, I'm going to go in and buff over the surface, and this is just me removing any scratches that I may have made either from the drill or from the hand file.
Covered in this life until forever. Walk step by step.
For the design, I ended up taking out the colors Urban Pink and Cherry Blossom. Both of these colors are from Nail Addicts, and this is where I start creating that cozy sweater nail design. So I'm starting off with that lighter pink, which I believe was the Cherry Blossom, and I start drawing out diagonal lines of this, thinner and thicker ones with that as well. And under that first line, I did do little tiny lines going down, and that is kind of going to mimic the stitching from the sweater. Whatever I do to the pinky, I am going to do the exact same design to the pointer nail, and I do cure it in between because when it comes to any kind of nail art, I always mess up. So just as a safety, precaution, I cure it before moving on to the next nail because, yeah, I know myself way too well.
Covered in this life until forever. I don't got it all planned out, but you know, I just watch it all pan out, 'cause I know that you know.
From there, I went in and I took out my matte top coat, and I should have waited to do this step, but I think I was just a little ahead of myself, and I went in and I top coated all of these nails matte. And I honestly could have skipped the middle nail because I ended up doing stones on the middle nail, and you're gonna end up seeing it was kind of pointless me putting a matte top coat on at this point, but I ended up doing it, and I just cured that for a full 60 seconds. At this point, I ended up taking out the Urban Pink color, and I did a diagonal line in the opposite direction, and this I ended up doing a thicker line. Now after I did this, I realized I wanted this to be a matte color as well, so that's why I said I should have waited, because I did want to do a sugaring effect on top of this, and this part would have needed to be a matte in order for me to do this. So after I did this, I did go ahead, I cured it, and then I went back in with the matte top coat and I just top coated that little part. From here is when I did more line work using the same exact color, and this is where I started to create the lines that I wanted to have that sugaring effect. And for this middle part, I ended up doing the little lines going straight down, and then from the left side I ended up connecting it to the next bottom right line. Don't know if that makes sense, but you're gonna see it's going to end up looking like an S going down that middle part, and that's going to be that cozy sweater pattern going on. But from that, I do end up continuing the pattern on the bottom portion of it, just doing a couple little more lines and just a little bit more detailed. But I don't end up curing it. I ended up leaving it just like that. And for the sugaring effect, I am going to use some acrylic. This acrylic is from Mia Secret and it's their Cover Pink. This Cover Pink acrylic has like this shimmer inside it. It's super pretty. I ended up using that and I poured that on top of the uncured gel, and I think it just came out extremely pretty. It just looks so good. But after I apply the acrylic on top, I do go ahead and just cure that in place, and then I do go on to the pointer and continue that same exact design, replicating it exactly the same way.
Covered in this life until forever.
For the ring nail, we're going to do another full covered cozy sweater nail. Now, as you can see, I am taking the gel and I am just doing little lines going straight down. It kind of looks like a road. And then I am taking that left line and going down and connecting it to that right line under, and that's going to make that little S pattern down the middle. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to cure it. I'm going to do 2 lines going straight down these sides of this, and this is best done with a really long skinny detail brush. This helped me out so much, and no coffee. But from there, I start doing little lines, diagonal lines off these sides on the left side. And then when it came to the right side, I went in the opposite diagonal section. But once I got all of this laid out, I did go back in with that acrylic powder. I poured it right on top, and then I did a full cure for 60 seconds. So I really wanted to add some bling to these nails, so I ended up taking out my light rose and tanzanite bling it box. These are on the website right now, and I'm going to use the gorgeous light rose crystals. I'm going to use these smaller stones. So as you saw, I ended up using my bling it rhinestone gel. I'm going to apply this all over the nails. Now, if you remember, I did add some matte top coat, and that's why I said I should have waited, because I knew for a fact I wanted to add some rhinestones, and that was kind of a waste, just me adding the top coat for this nail, because I'm just going to go right in with that bling it, you know, the gel. So as you can see, I'm just adding a layer on top, and I'm just adding it to the entire nail.
because I wasn't really sure the exact placement of how I was going to do the stones. I knew I wanted to try to create a snowflake. So you're going to see me here just adding stones. And I kind of wish I added some caviar beads with this, because I think it just would look so much more better with some caviar beads. But I do end up using the three smaller stones to create this look. But once I was happy with the placement of these stones, I did go ahead and do a cure for 30 seconds.
Just watch it all pan out, 'cause I know that you know, covered in this life until forever. I don't got it all planned out, but you know.
After that, I ended up taking a detail brush and going around the stones and filling in using that matte top coat. And I thought this was the easiest way to do it, using a matte top coat. Using a detail brush for the matte top coat. But I just went ahead, I cured that really quick. And then I went back to the stones and I started just adding a couple to the index nail as well as the pinky.
When I'm bad, when I'm low, when I'm high, yeah. When I'm lost, look to God, He my guide, yeah. Haters talk, let them talk, no reply, yeah.
And this is the final look. I think it is so freaking pretty. I am so in love with it. Super, super cozy. Of course, I love me some pink. So this fit right up my alley. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, y'all know I had to add some crystals just to add that extra touch. But I think they came out so freaking cute. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Of course, I'm going to link everything that I've used in the description box for you guys, so it's easier for you guys to purchase. But as always, thank you everyone for taking time out to watch this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media accounts, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
I just